Hello and welcome to episode 40 of the Apocalyptic Knitter podcast. I'm Naomi and I'm coming to you from Leeds in West Yorkshire, where I live with my husband, my son and our cat. Today is Sunday the 13th of July. It is extremely warm. I am recording this with the windows open in the living room, so apologies for any mild traffic noise. I thought I'll give the neighbours a treat. So yeah, I thought I'd come and give a bit of a catch up on what I've been working on. I'm sorry, I know I've got glare from my glasses going on. So yeah, it's been a couple of weeks. I didn't realise it had been 3 weeks. Just really super busy. I actually fly away on holiday tomorrow, so I wanted to just kind of give a bit of a catch up before I go, because then I know if I'm away for a week and then you're playing catch up, and then yeah. So I've done quite a lot since I've last seen you, and yeah, before I go any further, I'm going to do the socials. So what are my socials? I think, do you know, the brain is not braining. Socials. So if you want to find me on Instagram, I'm Naomi Knits. I'm at Big Bird on Ravelry, and I'm Apocalyptic Knitter on YouTube. Really hot. You can see that I managed to weave the ends in on my hoodie shawl cardie. So I'm gonna take this with me on holiday, even though the thought of wearing anything woolen, it's just, you never know if it's gonna be a little bit breezy by the coast and all that kind of thing. I'm going to Greece with my lovely friend Tony, and extremely excited. So yeah, I'm meant to be going to bed in 4 hours. So yeah, I don't think any sleep's gonna be happening tonight, is it? Anyway, I apologise if I'm just rabbiting on about holidays. That's just how I am. I have another, this was a finished object the last time, so can't really count it again. But yeah, I've blocked it and I've woven the ends in, and I'm really, really happy with it. So yeah, it's gonna get its first outing. I'm gonna see if I can take some nice pictures, like FO pictures, when I'm away. That'd be quite nice. Anyway, I have a proper finished object. I have finished the socks for Paula. If you're watching, these are for you. I did go to bring them into the office for you, Paula, but you were on leave last week and then I'm on leave, so we're going like ships in the night. So I'm going to keep them safe for you. So these are in the colourway Petrol Head by Easy Knits, and I did them on 2.25mm needles, cast on 68 stitches. Just did the figure of 8 cast on and did them toe up. Did the fish lips kiss heel. Sorry, that's the plane going over. We'll just give it a minute. So yeah, we are on the flight path. Yeah, that'll be me in a few hours. Wave to the pilot. So I did fish lips kiss heel, and I did about 15 rows of 2x2 rib. So those are done. What's my next one that I'm going to be doing? My main focus has been on a crochet blanket, which I'll come to crochet later on. But I've also worked really well on the Radiate sweater, and I've managed to finish the yoke. Oh, hang on, let's pull that down. As you can see, not my colour palette at all, but that, I really like the trio of colours there. So I'm knitting this, so the pattern is the Radiate Sweater by Joji Locatelli. Here's one I made earlier. So this is the one that I did for myself. Absolutely love it. And then my mother-in-law also absolutely loved it, and she said, can you make me one? And I said, okay. So the yarn that I'm using is Yarn Smith's Merino DK. It's really soft. It's 100% wool. It's, I say, merino wool, and they do a great range of colours. So this one is Vanilla Fudge, and then this one here is Copper, and then the green is Olive Green. So yeah, I'm on with the body now. I'm on 4mm needles, and yeah, can't remember what size I'm doing. I think mine was, when I did mine, that was a size 4, I believe. And so this one's a size 3. It's just one size smaller, because she's only petite. So there we go, I'm really happy. I'm now on with the body, which is just plain knitting round and round and round and round, which oh, do you know what, the pattern is here, so I can tell you what size I'm doing. One, two, three, four. I beg your pardon, the size that I did for myself was number 5. So now I'm working on number 4. So there we have it. I can't show you anymore because it is a paid for pattern. So that is living quite happily in my Bertie and Poppet bag. I do like that one. So that is that. I also picked up some languishing socks for me. So this is my Crazy Zauber ball, and it's really nice. I hope that you can see the colour, because the lights are quite dark. I think you can see it a bit better there. Like a nice mould effect. And I've just done the heel flap and the heel turn, and I've just picked up and put those stitch markers in, ready to do the heel, ready to do the decreases. So I'm going to take this one on holiday. Now it's always that same old dilemma of do you try and take it through your hand luggage and all that kind of thing, and through security. And I think and it's in my little grey girl bag, the Firefly one. I've also had my nails done, and how nice are those little flowers? Gotta be pink. Anyway, yeah, knitting through security. I have done it before, and I can't remember what airline. I can't remember if it was when I went to Jamaica a few years ago, and I just thought 7 hours on the flight, I thought I can't not knit, and I got through fine. But as I say, different people have different stories, don't they? And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my socks, and as I'm going to you know, take it out of the bag. So there it is. If they confiscate the needle, do you know what? We're going to go to Argostoli, which is the capital of the island that we're going to, and there is a wool shop, and obviously Tony's a knitter too. So I can just buy. Do you know what I mean? If I have to discard the needles, I will do. I think that's my viewpoint on it. And I'll show you in a minute which one that I'm gonna take. So this is another pair of socks for someone at work. I know. I was volunteered this very kindly. Thanks, Zippy. No, I'm only teasing. So this is for somebody who's turning 60 when I come back. And as you can see, I've just literally almost done. Do you know, I'm getting in a right tangle here, aren't I? That goes through there. No, it doesn't. Let's hold it that way. Now the colours that they like is blue and white. So I've gone for like a navy, and that is the closest to white sock weight that I have. It's like cream with just tiny little flecks of lemon. So there we go. That was just like a mini, like I think it was in a set that I got from a yarn swap that we did at like Christmas. And it was a set of Nora Jones minis, I want to say. So yeah, so I got those, so that's getting used up. And this is, the main colour is going to be some Drops Fable. There. So that is going to be my main knit, and I thought, if I take that through to security like that, and I have to discard the needles, I'm going to put a backup project in my suitcase with other sock needles in there, right? And so if I can't put this little bit of knitting back onto the needles, I've not like lost lots of hours. Do you know what I mean? Have I? So that's what my plan is going to be. So that's going to be a bit of plain knitting, and yep. I mean, I'm very like optimistic about how much knitting I'm actually going to get done, but you know, sometimes I want to enjoy my knitting, and I always enjoy a new project, but sometimes if you know, especially with navy, I think I'm still traumatised from the Gansey. Sometimes you get a bit like, anyway. So I've also taken these are also going to be for me as well, and it is some yarn I got in a D-stash, and it is the infamous Fab Funky Fibres, and you're going to ask me what colourway it is, and I can't remember. Something pink circus? No, I'll look it up enough. Every time. Ta-da! I'll tell you now what it is. It is called The Pink Side of the Moon. Where did I get Pink Circus from? Do you know? So that is going to be in my little Stormtrooper bag that I got from a Star Wars convention when Brandon, the teenager, was just 4 years old, when he was in what we call the Star Wars era. Star Wars. I can't talk today, can I? So I've done that one, and I think that is all my knitting that I've got. So now it is got one more knitting that's in the pipeline. So last episode I mentioned that I had a commission coming up to make a Submariner jumper, which is like quite a traditional jumper that they had in the Navy, and it's just like quite a key staple piece that they kind of want making, and it's just, for all intents and purposes, it's like a cream or white polo neck jumper really. And I've been looking online for patterns, and I'd really struggled. Some were just like in plain stockinette, some said that it was ribbed. I did 3 swatches, I think we mentioned last time, so I did a swatch in Woolly Knits Aran, I did a swatch in Jameson's Shetland Aran, and I did a swatch in West Yorkshire Spinner Fleece. And the yarn that they want me to use is West Yorkshire Spinner Fleece, and I agree, it's BFL, so it's got that durability, but it's also more softer in the skin because it's polo neck, and you want something that's not gonna be too scratchy. And a little while ago, when we kind of spoke about it, I had a look for patterns, and I think this is it. I mean, like, talking frank here, I'm not a big podcast platform, right? I do it, I enjoy it, and I really, love it. And if I get more subscribers, fantastic. But it's not the be all and end all for me, right? But if you're watching this and you do have, a bigger platform, please pass this message on to the bigger world. There needs to be more male patterns out there, knitting patterns, because there's hardly anything, right? The one that I found, to give you an idea, this is what I'm going to, and look, the price is in 6D, right? So it's from the 70s. It shouldn't be that difficult. We have got absolute like millions of patterns on Ravelry, and I just couldn't find anything. I went to a wonderful wool shop. I can't remember if I told you. Is it there? Anyway, it's called Hoop, and it's in Leeds, in Farsley in Leeds, if you're ever in the area. And the owner, Vanessa, is absolutely lovely, and it's a cracking little wool shop. Really great variety and everything. And it was another sweltering hot day. I wasn't quite in the mood for shopping for wool because it was just so hot. And I was looking at the patterns, and it was just folders and folders and folders of like women's patterns, and they probably had the best range of men's patterns that I'd seen. But same again, it's just like a couple of small books, and there's still this like it's for women only. There's so many more male knitters out there, and they're bloody great knitters, to be honest with you. I do follow a few on Instagram, and I love seeing the different styles that people have. Anyway, so that's my little rant of the day. If you can spread that word out. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, looking at this here, it does seem quite a dated pattern. I mean, you can tell even looking at the sizes. There's like 3 sizes, just like not inclusive at all. But it was what it was. So yeah, so I am probably gonna have to make some adjustments for the size that I'm making it for. And yeah, I thought, you never know, I might end up publishing a pattern. But yeah, I honestly thought that I would be spoilt for choice, you know? I mean, Ganzis are different. Ganzis, there's a few patterns out there because that's a lot more common, but, you know, if I'm just being daft and you're going to know me, there's like loads here, and I've put in the wrong word, I've called it, you know, a polar neck instead of a turtleneck or rib neck or whatever. But yeah, anyway, there still needs to be more. That's my piece said. Alright, anyway, that is all I have for knitting. So yeah, so we've agreed on the material. There was something I was gonna do and I've written it down. I think I wanted to just do a couple more swatches because I did the swatch in a 5mm because it said it was Aran. But to me it feels more towards like a DK, like it's quite a thinner Aran. So I'm going to do a swatch in like a 4mm and a 4.5mm and just kind of see what I'm happy with. And then yeah, so hopefully, and they want it for this autumn, so I should be casting that on soon, so that'll be quite exciting. Anyway, that's all the knitting that I've got, and now the main star of the show is on the crocheting, is the blanket. I've worked so hard on this. Alright, can you see that? So this was 5x6 squares that I've done, and I've just started doing like a border all the way around. Now I didn't quite have enough white to finish the second round all the way around, but I've still, because I don't really like to waste, you know, if you bought wool for a project, I don't really want the leftovers, especially because I don't think I'm going to use this for anything else. So I'm gonna do one round in the greys to use that up, and then I'm going to try and follow the order. I'm going to do a round or two in the black, one in the navy, and then we've got the blue and the cornflower blue. But I'm going to see how I go because I might just end up getting sick of it. And so it's done. But no, I worked really hard last weekend and I joined them all together and I sewed in about 250 ends. This will make you laugh. And I caused an injury to my tongue. I kind of felt like it had a lump in it, and I was all like, oh my god, what's that? It's gotta be something bad, isn't it? And it was like quite tender, and I think what I've done is, you know, when you're getting an end and you're holding your tooth on your tongue while you're making the end bit flat. And obviously if I'd done that 250 times, I think I've just kind of irritated me. And as chances had it, I had a dentist appointment on Friday, just gone. And I was all like, can you just check? Oh, this isn't anything bad, is it? So no, he says same thing. There's like loads of like nodes and taste buds and everything like that on your tongue, and sometimes they just get on. Anyway, there's a little bit of overshare for you. So yeah, so I took a break from weaving the rest of them in. I think I'm about halfway there. As you can see, there's still a load more there, but I'm just, as I say, most of it's done. And yeah, it's not as if it's like winter imminently. So there we go. but I really like that. And I wanted to do the border to just add that extra little bit of length to it, if I'm honest with you. It's not too far off the length that we're after, but I didn't want to do another row of squares, because if anything, the levels of the colours in the yarn didn't allow me to do that, so I was like running out of the white, and I didn't want to buy any more when I didn't need to. So there's that. So that is, it's not living in a big fancy bag, it's living in the organza bag from Woolworths. So that is that. And then lastly, it might have even been Friday night, I had a wild idea, and I just had this super beamer bonnet about crocheting a beach bag, and because crocheting's really quick, isn't it? And I had, it's fine the other side. I had 2 balls in stash of Sirdar Toscana, Toscano, and it's like a cotton with just ever so slight, you know, it's not speckles. Oh, battery down to 20%. It's not a speckle, but just kind of almost like a marbled, just, you know, a subtle effect there. You probably see it a bit better on this one. Yeah. So I wanted to do 9 of these, and I got 9 out of 1 ball. And then I had this other just plain cotton that I did around the edge. And then I've only got the 1 ball of the blue, and now that's all pretty much gone. Other than that, that is what I was left with. And then I've got this other one, which is almost kind of like a rusty brown kind of colour. And I wanted to do same again. I wanted to do 3x3 on one side of the bag and 3x3 on the other one. But then I remembered I went into that wool, into the brown one, because I made a dishcloth out of it, because that was what I was originally going to use for it. So I know that I won't be able to get the 9 out of that. So then I thought I might end up doing the centre square of the brown in the plain cotton. However, when I've done round and round and round all these and weighed it, it's like at 50%. So I thought, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to have enough of the cotton, so I thought I won't bother busting myself. Trying to calm down on the language. Busting myself to finish it for the holiday when I won't be able to do it. But we do have another holiday coming up later in the summer. I know. Who am I? So it can be used for that. It's very hard on your hands, cotton, isn't it? That's the only thing. But I really like knowing that that's going to be in like a bag that I can, you know, and I didn't want to make a tiny bag either. So yeah, so there's the 3. So it could be like 3x3. So yeah, so I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy some more plain cotton, because I was watching a tutorial last night and I know how to make the base. So I'm going to do like a really nice base as well, rather than just a flat tote shape. And also I've got an idea what to do with the handles. So yeah, I didn't want to rush it and then it got it all wrong and everything like that. So yes, so that is where I got up to. But even so, I think I did make quite a decent start on that. So that is not going to come with me on holiday. I'm sure I can find somewhere that has undyed cotton in, that I can just get a couple, I'm doing, oh, itchy nose, it's DK, and I'm doing that on a 4.5mm hook, should you need to know. Oh, you're probably wanting to know what that white cotton is, and that and the bag it came in was actually a gift from a friend of mine. I think it's just, yeah, craft cotton for knit and crochet. That writing says V&A Products Limited, Bradford. So it might even be something like from Hobbycraft or something. I don't know. But I should imagine they're pretty much of a muchness, really, aren't they? I'll know by the feel of it, really. Anyway, that is me for the day. Talking of my apocalyptic theme, I'm aware that I've not really spoken much about stuff. But yes, I went and I saw the 28 Years Later film at the cinema a couple of weeks ago when it came out, and I absolutely loved it. And I was quite surprised because there was some mixed reviews on it. And I think because there's been such a gap between 28 days later, 28 weeks later, and then this, like, you know, I think there's just so much hype and so much expectation that people just obviously set this massive bar. But because I didn't go in with anything like that, and I just thought, great, another zombie film that I've not seen before that I'm gonna love and rewatch 20 times over, because that's what I do. Yeah, I just really enjoyed it. Little spoilers coming up, so happy for you to switch off at this point. But it was kind of based on, they were on like an island with a causeway. They built this community, you know, a bit like Lindisfarne. It might have been on Lindisfarne, actually, I'll have to check. But I like how they had like a lookout guard for when the tide kind of went out, you know, because obviously people could kind of come, you know, zombies can kind of come on from the mainland and everything. So I thought that was quite a, you know, a novel. Is that novel the right word, really? But no, I like that. And I had an actress who I can't remember her name, but I really like her, from Killing Eve. She was in it. She was really good. And yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. So if this is your bag, if you enjoy end of world films, zombie films, go and give it a watch. Ignore the reviews. Just go and watch it with no expectations, and you'll really enjoy it. That's my thing. Anyway, I'm gonna go because I'm absolutely boiling in this, and I don't feel like this vest top is probably appropriate for me to podcast in. So I will love you and leave you. I hope that, oh, hello, the cat has decided to join us. So yes, you gonna come and say hello? No? Oh. No. Oh, she's coming over. If she comes over, I might see if I can grab her. Anyway, thank you ever so much for listening. If you've made it this far, put a little emoji of a black cat in the comments. And I will see you soon. Right, take care. Bye for now.